Since the horrendous Supreme Court ruling, MAGA has been doing the rounds to claim victory in ways that really just give the game away. So I want to cover a few of these just to show how disingenuous Republicans are. I know, surprise, surprise, right? And why Democrats should take the time to pack the courts the way Republicans do so they can no longer fall back on these horrendous rulings. Hey, you! Yes, you! Did you know we have memberships for as low as $3 a month? You can help the channel grow, reach new heights, and help protect democracy. And you get a long list of exclusive perks, from members-only polls to getting my videos early. The link is always in the description of every video. If you want, go ahead and check that out. And thank you guys.
Kaylee, what we're seeing tonight is despicable and it is dangerous. The president has been trying to undermine our legal system. First, they weaponized the Department of Justice to go after his chief political opponent, which of course is Donald Trump. And now, when it doesn't work the way they planned it, the way they designed it, when the law gets in the way of what they're trying to do, now he's trying to undermine the Supreme Court itself.
Undermining the legal system is when you call every verdict against you fraudulent and say it's part of a conspiracy and all institutions are against you and it's fake, and every other talking point that Trump and his cronies use. I mean, sexual assault, that was fraudulent and fake. Fraud, fraudulent and fake. Defamation, fraudulent and fake. His 34 felony counts, fraudulent. But oh, the Supreme Court ruled in our favor. Guys, we have to trust institutions. You can't weaponize the DOJ when grand juries of Americans indict and juries of Americans convict. There is quite literally no connection between Biden and any of these cases. No matter how many times they say it, it doesn't make it true. I can guarantee you that, which is exactly why they don't provide any evidence, any actual material evidence for that being the case. They just point a lot of fingers and say, if I say this 100 times, maybe people will believe me. And also note how if Democrat judges rule in ways that favor, let's say, Democrat AGs or Democratic lawyers, they claim it's partisan hackery and a conspiracy and blah, blah, blah. But Republican Supreme Court judges rule in favor of the Republican who appointed them. And it's, guys, we have to respect the rule of law. I mean, stop trying to undermine it here. They seriously don't even care to show their hypocrisy, and only doing so when the law favors them.
The president and the vice president are the only two offices in our constitutional system that are elected by all the people. No one who is elected to that office is going to be prone to this kind of crazy criminal activity.
Except Donald Trump wasn't elected by the people. He lost the popular vote to Hillary Clinton by 3 million votes and was installed instead by the Electoral College, which seems to be the only way that Republicans can even get in office. And then he went on to try and steal the 2020 election using fraudulent electors, which we'll get into, and pressuring high-ranking officials before inciting an insurrection on the Capitol. And the coy little smile that Mike Johnson gave when he said that leads me to believe that he knows this as true and is just saying whatever in hopes that MAGA can regain power.
You have conceded here the last time that you and I spoke in April, and John Sauer, who was arguing this before the Supreme Court, that some of what's alleged would be considered a private act. So that would mean that at least part of this case from Jack Smith would go to court based on what you have said before, right?
We've admitted consistently that there are acts alleged in the indictment that would constitute private conduct, but we believe that if the official conduct, the immune acts in the indictment are stripped away, that Jack Smith doesn't have a case, that this case should be dismissed on that basis. I don't think there's sufficient private conduct here to support the indictment, to support the ongoing prosecution. And that's what we're going to be litigating in front of the district court now.
Even just the false slates of electors, you don't think that would constitute enough for a trial?
Well, we would say alternate slates of electors. And as we argued before the Supreme Court, alternate slates of electors have been a method used by previous presidents.
Okay, so let's talk about it, because there's a couple big differences in what he's saying when comparing these alternate electors to the fake and fraudulent electors for Trump. He's talking about the Hayes and Tilden election, where a state official had certified the alternate electors, and that being the attorney general, something Trump couldn't get, but the state canvassing board electors gave the state to Hayes rather than Tilden's electors, with the AG giving it to Tilden, which it's been called into question who should have won the state anyway. Like, there's actual merit to these claims. When the question was brought up to the court, the Supreme Court, however, ruled in favor of Hayes because obviously the state certified electors were the rightful ones. So first off, this Trump lawyer is stating precedents in a case that showed that the electors that he's trying to relate Trump's electors to were not valid, but still they had credible reason to be considered, unlike in Trump's case, where from uncovered emails, we know that even Trump's team that built these electors said they were illegal, literally called them fake by name. They were never certified by any state official, let alone the actual state certified electors, though they did claim to be. And he then used them with the plan to derail the peaceful transfer of power, have Mike Pence say, oh, I have these two different slates of electors saying different things. The election has to be fraudulent, or there's something weird about this because, you know, some of these are voting for Trump, and then throw it back to the House where Republicans had the majority to then just vote to keep Trump in power. Other differences include, again, Tilden having merit in these claims, or at least reasonable belief in there being merit to bring this to the courts, while Trump's team, his own team, called it illegal, called them fake electors, and Trump was told by his attorney general, unlike Tilden being told by the attorney general who certified those electors, Trump's attorney general and all legal people in his team told him the plan was rubbish and told him the plan was illegal. Furthermore, the Tilden electors did not assert any false statements like the Trump's team did, like asserting that they met in the state capitol building, which none of them ever had, or that they had official recognition, which none of them did. And the Tilden electors were also arguing a proposition of law, while Trump electors were making factual claims that could easily be proven untrue. This is a stark difference, and they're not really at all relatable in any way. If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that could interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video. We even have memberships available as low as $3 if you'd like to support, because the only way we become a society is together.